Peace up. A-Town down. Yeah.
Welcome to the A. This is going to be the start of a new sports series where we go over the four major sports in Atlanta, including the Atlanta United, the Braves, the Hawks, and the Falcons. We're going to be talking about how their seasons went and how they are, and also some future upcoming events.
And how much they choke.
Okay.
Yeah. Today we're gonna start with Atlanta United. Current record of 4-5-8.
That's kind of...
Yeah, we've not been great, but we won 2 of our last 3 games.
Mhm.
And they were against better teams. So you won against Cincinnati and you won against Atlanta City. But yeah, you just dropped one to the New York Red Wings. Red Bulls. Ugh. It's not been a great season for us Atlanta United fans.
You know, honestly, I low-key forgot we had this team. I'm not trying to sound mean, but I think that's kind of an indicator of what the season's been like.
Yeah, but one thing to look out for. Last year, we were in a very similar space. We finished 10, 10, and 14.
Mhm.
So in order for us to do that, where we snuck in last year, we'd have to go 6, 5, and 6, assuming everything stays the same as the last year. We'll probably need to do a little bit better than that to win the tiebreakers.
Yeah.
But it's definitely possible. It's definitely possible if we catch fire. And especially if key people step up, which some people have been. Jamal Thiare has been great off the bench. In the 2 wins that we had, he came off the bench and scored a goal. Saba has been returning to form after being benched for a good chunk of the season, actually. So
Do you know why he was benched, though?
He just horrible midfield plays. Like, he'll always have a motor, but yeah, he wasn't in that top tier form that we've seen him in past years.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm like Latte Loth, yes, he's a top goal scorer for us right now, but honestly, that's not much of an achievement.
It was a record, right? How much we bought him for?
Yeah, it was
That was
over 20 million. Not great, man.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, if we had Yakumaki's back, he was low-key better than him, and we also had him for cheaper too. I think that Atlanta United, one of the key things is, like, yes, you have 17 games left. You have to go game by game. Here, take a draw here. We need to get points, sneak into the playoffs, because anything can happen. We saw it last year. We knocked off the 1 seed Inter Miami and Messi in the playoffs in that first round, where it is absolute stunner. We can do anything if we get there. So that's first thing you got to do. Stack together wins or even draws. You just can't lose like you did a few days ago to New York.
And, you know, like once again, you have to go 6, 5, and 6 to return the same record we had last year. So that means 6 losses out of 17.
Yeah.
You know, that I feel like I do think they got to step it up a little bit to reach that, because that's once again, that's pretty hard.
Yeah, I agree. So let's move on to the other team that's still in their season, the Atlanta Braves. So at the time of recording, the Braves are 27-30. What's up, guys? It's Editing Ethan here. It is currently June 10th, 9 days after the original video. We've won 1 game since then. It's been a horrible week and a half. 2-8 in our last 10 games. You're 4th in the NL East, and you've lost in some of the most disappointing ways you can even imagine. Up 6 runs in that Diamondbacks game, heading into the bottom of the 9th, and you don't get out of there with a win. That should not happen in any case, in any scenario. Sell the entire bullpen. They blew 2 more games, 2 walk-offs in San Francisco. I don't know what needs to happen. I think you probably fire Snit. That's my take. That's my opinion. I think you need to light a fire under this team. The offense has the talent. It has the ability to be incredibly good. I want them to return to that 2023 form, but it doesn't seem like that's going to happen under the current state of the Atlanta Braves. Something needs to give. And I don't know how much, when you go into this trade deadline, how much you sell, how much you keep. What do you do? Do you do a mini rebuild? I'm still a little torn. I do want to hear what you guys think in the comments. I'll let you guys get back to the original video, but that's something I wanted to address. It's been a rough going. Let us know what you guys think. You had the AJ Smith-Shawver injury, which is absolutely heartbreaking. That happened a few days ago. He was a Rookie of the Year leader, and now he's out for the season.
That's
torn
right.
UCL, either going to get Tommy John surgery or getting an internal brace.
Mm-hmm.
Not great. Yeah, I think one of the things we have to string together wins. Braves have had some great Junes, especially if you remember in that 2023 where the offense was absolutely exploding. I think we went something like 20-4 during that month. That's something that needs to happen.
Yeah.
We need to get over 500 and maintain that over 500. Baldwin has been absolutely raking. He's hitting 324 right now, and the advanced statistics, expected batting average is supposed to be a little bit higher. His hard hit and barrel rate is a lot higher than what he's supposed like. Basically, his batting average is supposed to be a lot higher. He's been pretty unlucky, even as with how good his stats are. I think Acuna, who's been really nice, they got to step up. More players need to step up. Matt Olson has been really good as of late. Michael Harris, I would like to see his bat come to life.
Do you compare like past seasons? Do you think like Michael Harris is having like a considerably like disappointing year, or would you say it's just like?
I think offensively, yes. Offensively, like yes. We want to. Right now, he's batting like 236 or something. You want to see more consistent hitting. During that 2023 year, he was hitting, I think, close to 280, which was where you really want him to be. His defense has been absolutely great. You saw those catches against the Phillies were absolutely robbing. No problems with his defense, and that's why he's going to continue to start. But that bat has to come together. Also, I want to see Nick Allen and Eli White continue to go back to that form. Right now, they've started to dip, and like their numbers were above average for the time, but now they started to dip. I want to see more of that. I just need Austin Riley and Marcell Ozuna. They need to stay consistent. They need to stay hot. The top of this order is what's going to be key to propelling them. And I think the pitching, it's not great. Bryce Elder will hold us together for now. But yeah, we just got to hope our pitchers don't become terrorists. The bullpen needs some help. That's one of the biggest things before the trade deadline. You have to address the bullpen. If not, we are going nowhere in the playoffs.
And I know we have some nice starting pitchers with like Schwellenbach, Sale.
Yeah.
And like I don't know how Strider's been recently.
Yeah, I think it's going to take a couple games for him to return to form. You're not going to come back from Tommy John surgery and immediately start throwing 100.
Sure.
So, like, it's going to take a few for him, but to come playoff time, I think he'll be ready. We have our starters, and don't forget Reynaldo Lopez. Many people have forgotten about him. He'll be coming back around like a month before playoff time is what his expected timetable is supposed to be. But if he can come back and return to form, maybe we put him in the bullpen for the playoffs. That would be a really nice addition. But yeah. I think move on to Atlanta Hawks.
Atlanta Hawks. Okay, so we finished this year 40-42. We've lost in the playoffs, which is kind of becoming like a common theme now for the Hawks. You know, being very mid, I would say is kind of the perfect word for putting it. The last 2 years, we haven't finished over 500 once. The 1 year that we got close to it was exactly 500. We went 41-41. I don't know what the Hawks are doing. I don't know if we're rebuilding. Are we retooling? Because look, we have a really young lineup. Trae Young's 26, Dyson 22. Kind of where I think the starting lineup's going to be is JJ's playing small forward. He's 23. Zach's 20, and then Onyeka Okongwu's 24. I love the ages. The ages are really cool. It's just that I don't know. Like,
one of the biggest things is we don't have a direction.
Yeah,
you need to find out your identity, and you need to find your direction. Right now, you got to decide. Hey, do we have a good enough core that we're going to compete? Are we good enough to beat the Knicks? Are we good enough to beat the Pacers? Are we good enough to beat Boston, even after they blow up their team? The East is really weak right now.
That's true. It's wide open.
Yeah, it's wide open. You could sneak in with like a just barely above 500 record and grab that 4, 5, or 6 seed.
Easily, of course.
I think if I'm the Hawks, I make a big splash move. If you think about what happened to the Timberwolves had something that worked with Cat and Gobert, but they traded him for Randall, who's been great, and and DiVincenzo.
Right.
I think you got to decide if you want to keep Trae Young or trade Trae Young.
That's massive, in fact.
That if you trade Trae Young, you have to get a player who will carry your team. Someone possibly like Giannis. Possibly like a KD. You need to have a number one scoring option, or else you're going to end up like the Rockets. But like the thing is, I really like this team defensively. Like you have Dyson Daniels, right. Jalen Johnson's also a really good defender. Zachary Rishichai can be too.
I know. The thing about the Trae Young situation is that I do not want to trade him. I know you're talking about we can get a guy like KD, Giannis. It's just that I think our front court's really stacked right now. Like I think JJ. He's a top 5 power forward to me. Zach is just getting better. We have Moge in the back. He's like a 7-footer that can shoot threes for some reason. Like I have some trust in this front court. It's just that even the back court, Trae Young and Dyson Daniels is really good. I really love that. That's a great offensive defensive combination. I just like you said, we don't have a direction. We need another guy that can step in when it's big.
Yeah.
And that might be in the definition of getting a second superstar. Whether or not JJ can grow into that position, we will see. He kind of died this season, injuries. So we have to see about that.
Yeah. You have to, when you get into that playoffs, you're going to have to look for that second star who's going to step up,
Right.
Who's going to be like, when it's demon time, when you need a bucket,
Right.
you go to him. If you put Giannis on this team, it's looking scary.
It is, but I'm just scared of what we're giving up because look, we have 2 first-round picks.
Yeah.
I'm thinking
They're
the
not
Bucks
very high.
They're not very high, so I'm guessing we're gonna have to give a good player too. I'm scared it's gonna be JJ if they want that, but I wouldn't do that.
You wouldn't do that?
I think Jalen Johnson's 23.
But would you rather be stuck in this endless cycle of mid?
It's just that look at the average age of our team. Like if you look at that starting lineup, it's like 23.
Yeah.
20. Like
it's really good, but like if you look at it, there's no clear superstar. There's no clear guy that you're going to go to besides Trae Young. And if you trade Trae Young, then you need to get at least 1 or 2 guys who can go get you that bucket.
Okay. That's
Like
fair.
that. But the thing is, like, also what we've seen in these past, in the teams that are in the playoffs right now, in the finals, OKC and the Pacers, both have really great depth. What the Hawks don't have right now is depth. It's like aside from the starting lineup, you have Moge, but like you don't have those pieces that are going to step up and give you 15, maybe 20 in a playoff game. Whereas you've seen that with the Pacers and OKC, they really stepped up. That's how you win those games. That's how you win those series.
That is true. Depth is probably one of the biggest problems. The only guy that I'm really confident beyond Moge on this bench is like Karis LeVert.
Yeah.
Kobe Buffkin, our first-round pick like 2 years ago, has not been living up to expectation. I think most fans probably forgot he existed.
Yeah.
Okay?
Also, shout out Veet Crazy.
Veet's been great, but
Yes.
I'm not even trying to be mean, but like me personally, I want to draft another small forward or a big with these first-round picks. I think Veet is great, but if we're serious about contending, I think we need some depth.
Derek Queen.
Derek Queen would be crazy. I would love for him to back up Onyeka.
Yeah.
Even start if he can win it, but I think I like Onyeka a lot.
Yeah. I mean, like he's I doubt he'd start very, very early. Maybe he starts to get into that rotation minutes a little bit later in the season as he starts to develop. He's probably going to get some G League minutes, I think, but I think that'd be great. Now moving on to the Atlanta Falcons. Here's the thing. The Falcons have a lot of potential right here. It really does hinge on Michael Penix Jr.
MP9.
We saw glimpses of him 3 games. I do think that most Atlanta sports fans glaze him a little too hard for those 3 games. Yes, he did look good,
say anything.
But 3 games is a very small sample size.
That's fair.
If you like, there's been quarterbacks who went on 3-game stretches where they absolutely look amazing, but then they're not long term.
They just fall off.
Yeah. I think he's going to have to develop. He's going to make some mistakes, but the team around him is a lot better than last year.
Yeah.
Bijan, Drake, like I think the wide receiver, you probably want to get another big name. You don't have that guy, like that guy who's going to, I guess like you haven't been to the playoffs to see.
It's been 7 years.
Yeah, to see if they'll step up.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I get that you think that people are glazing Mike Penix. And forget about this 3-game stretch he had. I don't care if anyone thinks he did good or bad. The thing that makes me the most confident about Mike Penix compared to QBs that have had these fairy tale runs is that once again, he has the weapons. Drake London, to me, is a top 10 receiver. Okay, if you don't like that, he's a boring top 10 receiver. You can't disagree with that. Darnell Mooney had nearly 1,000 yards. And he had Kirk Cousins. I'm not saying Kirk Cousins is terrible, but like, it's Kirk Cousins, and he was not good last year. Ray McLeod, he's good. Some people say we should get another receiver, like Ethan saying that we need another big name. I wouldn't hate that. Once again, the Falcons' cap space is kind of fried. I think that's the best way of putting it. Bijan could be the best receiver in all of football. That's another reason why I really like Mike Penix. Like this guy has all the weapons in the world. Secondly, the pass rush prayers got answered in a big way. We got Jalen Walker and we got JPG. Whether or not people think that it's worth spending another first round pick on him, that's not me to decide. That's where Pierce Jr. has to step up and show to people, hey, I'm worth trading up for. If he doesn't, then the Falcons are kind of stupid. But to me, I think he's worth it. You know, he looks really good. I don't think the Falcons are going to have a bad year. I know people have been saying that for a while. But I think this is the year that we finally finish with a winning record.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I think.
We'll release our predictions for the standings when closer to the season after you see
Yeah.
what happens in training camp, OTAs, whatever injuries happen. As of right now, because I haven't seen what the Falcons have done, in my opinion, I still have the Bucks winning the division.
We swept them last year, by the
But
way.
This is true. This is true. But I do think like this Falcons team, they might struggle off the bus really early, but then they start to gel and put it together because there is a lot of questions on this team. There's a lot of young names. You still got Billy Bowman, Xavier Watts. I really like the fact that you have a lot of these guys from this draft class that are ready to contribute, that have the potential to contribute. And if they do, that can definitely turn around the season. I think that's the biggest thing that we need to look out for.
That's true. There's a lot of questions. I think Ethan made a really good point with Michael Penix. I think that is the biggest question on this team.
Yeah.
Because honestly, it's very simple as an Atlanta fan to want to glaze your own player. But we don't know what he's going to be like in just 3 games. So we'll have to see how he does with that. That's what I think.
Yeah. Let us know what you guys think in the comments. Are Atlanta sports cooked?
I don't think so.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, everyone does well and every team makes the playoffs, especially the Braves right now.
Braves.
Just lost. So,
Damn.
27-31. Uphill battle.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.